Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back. Back here with some good progress and some finished trailers. Super excited. They came out great. They look exactly how they did in 2013, and that's what I wanted. The last update you guys saw was after I had stripped all the necessary paint away. Stripped the bellies on both of these. Um, got as much blue off of the pink lining as I could to kind of take care of that stuff. Um, and got the black areas off of the red container. And you guys can see they came out really, really nice and shiny. That's why I love Tamiya paint, because it's really glossy. And everything came out really nice. Redid all of the pink striping on this one. I was able to bring some of it back with stripping the blue off, but still had to pretty much repaint all that. So a lot of time-consuming, tedious little paint work going on there. You guys can see the back. The whole box is outlined on the back of the doors there. The lower part of the frame is all in gloss black. Got our little taillight details on the container chassis. Custom made hitch for towing other stuff behind it, like they did when they were loading the train. I got some Dayton 5-spoke from A-Line. A lot of these wheels are all from A-Line. I have some 2-hole disc. You guys can see some weathered 5-spoke. I tried to match the rims pretty close to what the containers or trailers had at the time. Mix match colors, dirty, different colors. So that's why the rims are all kind of different on some of these. But you guys can see the other side here. We have the pink and black one that looks awesome. And then the all red one came out super nice and clean. I did have to wind up completely repainting the red one because, and this is kind of a worry of mine, it's been several years since I painted this, and when I painted the patches, the paint was actually brighter in those spots, and just from from the eye you couldn't really see it, but the camera really brought it out. So this whole container got a full repaint in red. Luckily it was all solid red, so super easy, really quick paint job. But yeah, you guys can see all the this one was the hard one by far. I have a lot of detailed color work on that, multiple colors matching up against each other. So it's a lot of work to really keep it clean. Do really nice clean lines on that. Use really tiny paint brushes. Let's see. I use like 10.0 and 5.0. Those type of paint brushes, the real tiny stuff, to do like this really teeny tiny lining. But yeah. Those were a successful save. I didn't ruin anything, thank God. I was really worried about ruining the plastic with the paint thinner. I do have actual Tamiya thinner, but I use that for cleaning the paint brushes. When it comes to just getting rid of paint, I like the lacquer thinner because it does work. It's just really hard to work with, and you have to work super quick because it can destroy your plastic. So that was a huge worry of mine, that I was going to do a little bit too much and start to warp and erode plastic. Luckily, I didn't run into those issues. Everything painted up super nice. Everything looks really, really good. You guys can see how shiny everything is. I ended up repainting both the blue plates on these as well, just to kind of freshen those up. You guys saw I actually had a little oopsie daisy. I think it was on the other side here, or one of the Q-tips that I had with paint thinner dropped and accidentally tapped the corner on here. So that whole plate just got repainted, as with the rest of them. But yeah, really happy I was able to save those, bring those back to what they were. I wish I would have never done the paint changes to begin with, because I wouldn't have had to do this. But, oh well. Like I said, you live and learn. A project this big, it's kind of hard not to let your mind wander to some other things. And, like I said, the whole point of this was to... I want to not have my train be all over the place date-wise. I want to kind of hit for a specific era of the train, of the equipment. So just bringing everything back to 2013. How did I settle on 2013? Most of my progress, like my really big progress, was done on this train between like 2013, 2014. I had like awesome years that year for working on this. And so at the time I was modeling what I was seeing, as far as like the truck paints go and everything. They had like a whole truck repaint that I did with all my trucks. Some of this stuff was updated prior to that, like 2012 had some changes. So like from 2012 to 2013 or 2014, I was getting a lot done. I was looking at a lot, so a lot of my stuff represents the 2013 era. And like I said in one of my previous videos, I have the top spin. You guys have seen the top spin. I am not taking that off of the train, so I'm not going past 2013. Just because that was the last year that the top spin ran on the train. So we're keeping that. But making some tough decisions. There is some stuff that I had built that I am going to take off. There's some stuff that I had planned on built that I'm not going to build now. But it makes my life a lot easier, and it actually makes the work scope for this whole project a lot easier to get things accomplished. I'm not going to be quite so pressured to have like 100 million things. I just have a million things now. So still a lot of work left to do, but super, super happy these are done. I'm so glad they came out looking as good as they do. My goal was to make them look just as good, if not better than before, and I think I did that. Everything's really sharp. My lining came out really nice. Steady hands definitely help. A good brush helps. The paint is, like I said, this stuff's meant... This Tamiya paint is meant for more spraying and thinning down and spraying. I'm not thinning this at all, so I am painting very thick. So I do have to work very light and very quick, so I don't get too much paint built up in areas. I have struggled with that in the past, but over the years, I have kind of learned how to tame this paint with a brush and make it work how I need it. So, yes, there are better ways to do it, but that's the way that I'm used to, so that's how I'm doing it. But just so happy to have these done. Like I said, I didn't even have these on my to-do list, and because I was just going to say screw it and leave them, but once I really kind of policed myself into sticking with a time frame, that really changed my whole outlook on everything and what I wanted for the train and what I want from this project. And I want to basically capture a time of this train, kind of a time frame. Now, that being said, I am still very unsure what I want to do about the flat cars. If I want to paint them blue, if I want to keep them orange and do silver trucks, I would like to do that because that's like my favorite paint scheme on those cars. So the flat cars might end up not representing the time, but the equipment, I promise you, the equipment itself will definitely capture the 2013 year of this train. And I can always kind of go back and do a couple other little off-era projects just to have them if I want to run them with the train sometime or whatever. But I want to have a nice full representation of what the train is, and what it was back in 2013. So yeah, really good progress. Really happy with how these came out. I was super stressed out about that. Not really this one. I figured I could get those little stripes of black off pretty easy, and it's a solid one paint container. That's as easy as it gets. This, not so much. I was not excited about painting all of that a third time, because you guys got to think. The first time I did this container, it looked exactly how it does now. Was really happy with it. And then me being indecisive, I couldn't pick a time frame, so then I went and updated the color, which you guys saw before the repaint. You guys saw all this lining was all blue, the whole belly was blue, everything was blue, how it was back in 2019. And then just really looking at my equipment and what I had the majority of, I basically had to I had to go off of majority wins is pretty much what I went for. So like most of the stuff on this is all date era for 2013. Like I said, I have the truck repaint, some of the trucks that I have. So all of that stuff was my major determining fact of what era we were going to do. So, but I love it, man. You kind of step back and get a good look at them. They look so awesome sitting on the flat car. I was really excited once I got these done and got them on the flat car, because it's been 3 years since I've seen this stuff, not just out but on the flat cars. So super stoked about how these came out. Really happy to kind of be back on track with those. Our next projects are actually going to be the Ferris wheel trailers. I'm gonna work on both of those at the same time. I feel like I can handle 2 trailers at once. That's kind of how I started to build the train initially. I basically took what was on a flat car from pictures, and I built the 2 trailers, or the truck and trailers, whatever was on that flat car in that picture. That's kind of what I built, and that's how I progressed through the train. So I kind of jumped around a lot between building these special container trailers, building rides, semi-trucks, other smaller trailers, other bigger support trailers. I basically just took a snapshot of whatever pictures I had in front of me and built what was on that particular car at that time. So that's how all the progression kind of went through that. And so it kind of worked out to do these 2 at the same time. Can't talk. It's actually kind of nice to do 2 things at once here, because while, you know, when I finished up some paint work on this, and I kind of had to wait for some stuff to dry, then I could come to this one and do some work. Once I got as far as I could with that one, the paint would be dry on this one, I could go back and do this, and just, you know, being able to jump back and forth, it's kind of nice. I don't feel overwhelmed, and I don't feel like I'm just stuck on one single thing waiting for paint to dry. I have something else I can do while I'm waiting for paint to dry. So that's a huge part of this project, is waiting for paint to dry. Luckily, Tamiya paints seem like they dry fairly quickly compared to others, so definitely that's a plus. But yeah, so guys, the next episode of this series is going to be diving into the Ferris wheel trailers. I'm going to get those out, and we're going to talk about what I have planned for those. So a lot of talking, but hopefully you guys enjoyed the little progress updates on these 2. They are done. They look awesome. Yes, someday I do want to try to inquire about having some stickers made. I don't want to use decals. Stickers can be made to look just as good as decals nowadays. So eventually I'm going to reach out to, if I can find somebody to make me the Jamesy Strates names in like a clear sticker with just the letters that I can lay over this plate and still have the blue shining through. That's kind of my plan for that. But that's way down the road. I have a lot to build. and a lot to paint before I get worried about putting that stuff on. So, but that's it for this. These two done in the books, done. Not repainting them anymore. They're done. So we're sticking with 2013. Hold me to that, please. If I say anything outside of that, please comment. So we're sticking with it. So thanks everybody for watching these videos, and hopefully you enjoyed the progress. And until next time, take care.